All right, welcome back. I am Jake Zimbrick. This is the second part of how to share things in Google Drives, which we have dubbed Signed, Sealed, Delivered. Today we're going to talk about how to share Google folders and some of the interesting things that go along with that. Our learning intention is going to continue to be understanding the various permissions and also specifically with this lesson how the folder sharing relates to document sharing. All right, so we looked in the last lesson about how to share a specific document. Now, what about folders? Because we've been working in Google Drive so far, what happens when we share a folder and what happens to the files within that folder? What happens is that documents actually inherit the sharing settings of their folders. In other words, if I have a folder shared with 5 people that are on my team, when I make a document within that folder, it inherits all those same sharing settings so that that document also has the same 5 people that it's shared with. So if you create a document in a shared folder, that document is shared. Additionally, if you move a document into a shared folder, it's going to prompt you, Google Drive will actually prompt you and say, hey, you're moving this into a shared folder. Are you sure you want this document to be shared with these people? And you can decide at that point, yes, I want them to, or no. All right, now let's look at what this means. I'm going to go ahead and create in my drive, again, just to continue practicing this, I'm going to find my Google Sheets practice folder. And I've already made a new folder called My Shared Folder. Right now the icon looks identical, it's just a plain gray folder, and it looks like my class folder. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a collaborator here. And I do that by right-clicking, and I am going to go down to Share. It's a little silhouette with a plus sign next to it. When I click Share, I'm going to just share this with my personal Gmail account and click Send. Are you sure you want to do this? He's outside. See, this is an excellent example of Google trying to protect the privacy of our students. It knows that this email address is not within the district, and it's saying, is this really somebody that you trust? Is this somebody that should have access to this information? Now, of course, I'm sharing it with myself, and I'm also not putting any student data in there, so it's okay in this case, but it's nice that it does let us know that. I've gone ahead and I've shared it. And now look at this, my icon has changed from a plain gray folder to one with a little person on it. And that means that it is now shared with other people. What I'm going to do next is create a new document. And I'm just going to call this My Shared Document when it gets around to it. Now we've learned so far that if I wanted to, I could click share up here and choose the people I wanted to share this with. But to illustrate the concept of inheriting sharing settings from folders, I'm not going to do that yet. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag and drop. So I'm going to take this from a non-shared folder, my Google Sheets practice folder, and drag it into my shared folder, and we'll see what happens. It says share this item. Moving this item will share it with everyone who can see the shared folder. All right. Again, it prompts you and it reminds you, hey, you're putting this into a shared folder. People are not going to have access to this. And that's exactly what I want to happen. But first, I want to point out one other thing. Before I put that into this folder, let's go ahead and check the share settings. Again, waiting to load. When I open this up, we're just going to see that it's not shared with anybody. It's set to private to only me. And when it shows the collaborators, no one's going to be listed here. We can go to advanced. There's no collaborators listed. All right. Now we're going to drag it into the shared folder. Yes, this is what we want to do. We want to share it. Now when I go to this same exact document and I click the share button, shared with Jake Zimbrick. I have my own personal Gmail account that it's shared with, and now I'm showing up here. So you can see that simply by adding it to a shared folder, I've now changed the sharing settings of that document because the document sharing settings are inherited from the folder. All right, that's the concept that I wanted to illustrate to you with that activity. So whenever we're making things in shared folders, the permissions and so on are inherited from it.